Okay, so before we get started today, I just want to tell you guys a story. It's a fun story. So this actually happened today. I was at the gym, and I got kind of a late start on the gym today. I usually like to leave the house like right around 3 o'clock, get to the gym, leave by 6:30, go to work, and do my thing for the rest of the night. So today I got a really, man, when I tell you I dragged my ass out of the house today, and I didn't even leave on time. I left at like 4, and I was like, fuck, man, I'm not going to get the whole workout. I'll probably have to skip the cardio, but, I'll get something done, and it wasn't a super intense day. It was hamstrings and calves today. So I'm in the gym, I do my thing, and I'm like, okay, well, I got a few minutes. I can run across the street to Panda Express and get something for, lunch. I had a good workout. I actually did more than I expected to. So I'm going to go get some Panda Express, and just, make my way to work. So I go in there, and I'm in the middle of this strip center. That's it's a little busy. It's a little crowded. At night, it definitely gets a little sketchy, but it's got a In-N-Out burger in it. Anywhere you see an In-N-Out is going to be busy all the time. That's just a tip for all you people out there not watching me in California. If you're ever in California, if you see a strip center with an In-N-Out, there's probably not going to be a lot of parking there. Anyway, so I run over to Panda Express, and like I said, it's a strip center. It's super crowded, and I go and I just yank on the door. The door's locked. And I'm like, shit. So I tried the one door, I tried the other door. Both doors are locked. I'm like, what the fuck? So I look, and there's a little paper note printed on the door, and I'm thinking it says, like, go use the other door or something like that. So I stoop down and I read it. This note actually says, we had to close early today because we're short on personnel. Like, fucking serious? It's only 6:30, man. What the fuck? You had to close early because you don't have enough people to work? What the fuck, man? I hope somebody got fucking fired. But, man, I was just so, you know how when you want something real bad and you make your mouth ready for it? I'm like, oh, man, I really want it. And then you can't because it's fucking locked, and I got like 0 minutes to get to fucking work, and it's locked, so I can't get it. So I'm sitting there. I realize the situation I'm in. I'm sweaty. I got my backpack on. I got these leggings, and I just look at the situation, and I just go, fuck! And when I said that, a couple of people went looking. They turned, and oh shit, they looked at me, and I looked to my right, and who do you think I see? A cop. And I'm like, ugh, faux pas. So I see this cop, and he's turns and looks, and I'm like, I wasn't scared. It wasn't. I don't think you can arrest somebody for just yelling "fuck" in the middle of a strip center, but he turns and looks, and he just kind of has this confused look on his face, like, you okay, cowboy? And I'm like, oh, yeah, it's closed. And he's like, oh, and he kind of walks over. I'm like, oh, shit, here comes the cop. I don't have a lot of bad interactions with cops, like maybe one or two, not a lot. I have a generally pretty positive outlook on policemen. But anyway, cop walks over, and he's like, hey, do you work in there or something? Did you leave something behind? I'm like, no, I just came from the gym, and I just really, really wanted some Panda Express, and they're closed early because I can't find enough people to work. And the cop looks at the note, and he's like, oh, yeah. And he kind of looks at me with this look like, dude, this shit's not that serious. He kind of looks at me like, yeah, well, there's a couple other places right over there. Do you like Hawaiian food? There's an L&L right over there. I'm like, yeah, but this is just this is right around the corner from the gym. I just wanted to grab it because I was here on the block, and I wanted to just grab it and go to work. It's like, oh, really? Where do you work? Oh, I work over at the hospital. Like, oh, okay, yeah, well, that's rough. Okay, well, have a nice day, sir. That cop was so nice. He was literally just trying to make it better for me in any way. He was just like, okay, calm down, man. It's not all that serious. He was a nice guy, but that was just a weird interaction because people around me saw the situation. They were like, they heard me yell, and then they looked at me and they saw the cop, and the cop sees me and is like, oh shit, it finna be good. They're taking their phones out, but nothing happened. That was just funny. But not getting my Panda Express when I wanted it is definitely not funny. Shit. What I want to talk about tonight, in my last podcast, I talked about if you want to know what your woman is thinking, just look at what she's watching. So I was telling you this about when women propose to their boyfriends, which if you haven't watched that podcast, please do. It's a bad idea, ladies. Don't be proposing to your boyfriends, okay? Seriously, bad idea. I'll put a link in there. Watch it, absorb its message. But anyway, I'm looking at my wife watching TV, and my wife these days watches a lot of TLC. What did your parents used to watch? When people get older, they watch different shit. Like, I know I'm watching shows that my parents probably would have watched if I was, 19, 20 right now. My parents would probably watch a lot of People's Court. That seems like a show that they would probably watch. I don't know. My dad would definitely watch the Joe Rogan Experience right now if he was, if he was watching TV. But anyway, so my wife has been watching these shows on TLC, and my question to you people is, what the fuck is TLC's obsession with little people? I almost said short, not short, little people and people with too many fucking wives. That's like all I see on TLC all the time is little people and people with too many fucking wives. Now, I'm going to circle back to the little people because I know I'm probably going to put my foot in my mouth about the little people, but the people with too many wives, you motherfuckers are prime for my wrath, okay? Let's start with the Brown family, Cody Brown and these fucking wives of his. First of all, that show has been on for like 20 years. What the fuck? Who the fuck is watching this? I don't know. I shouldn't have even said that. My wife watches that show religiously. And when she talks about it, she talks about it like she's doing like a fucking science project or something. She's like, oh, baby, I just find it so interesting. It's just so interesting that people would do this. I just find it so interesting. Like, what's so interesting about it? Now, okay, maybe 20 years ago it was interesting. It's not fucking interesting anymore. What is so interesting about a guy with 4 wives? I mean, first of all, polygamy is not a new concept, okay? I realize in our society today, polygamy is not very common, but it's probably more common than you think, okay? People who live out in the sticks, out in the country, do it all the time. Trust me, okay? They have several wives. It's happened way back. It was actually very common for people to have more than one wife. But as you might, if any of you guys out there, if your girl watches these shows, then you already know what the next question is. You already know what the next question is. Would you ever want more than one wife? And ladies, I like to think that my wife is pretty smart. She's very, very smart. But all my wife can think of when she asks me that question, would you ever want multiple wives, is would you want to have sex with all these women? Like, oh, it's like Jay Leno and his massive car collection. What if that was you, but with wives? Oh, you could have a Latina one night and you could have a Persian or an Armenian, or Middle Eastern or black girl, white girl, Italian. I don't know. It's like you'd have all these different shades of God's rainbow any night you wanted. And women, first of all, maybe it's just because I'm getting older. I'm 40 and I'm getting older, and all I can think is, fuck no, man. Who the fuck wants to have who the fuck wants to have 4 wives? Not me, man. Like, okay, so apart from the sex, okay, and first of all, that's a whole thing in and of itself. But apart from the sex, why does having multiple wives sound like a good idea? From the mind of a grown man, I pay my fucking taxes, I have bills and shit and kids. First of all, having 28 kids does not sound like a fun thing. But let's take the kids out of it just for a second. Let's just talk about the wives. First of all, you have 4 wives. That is 4 sets of problems. That is 4, individual. First of all, people are people, People like what they like. They don't like what they don't like. I have a hard enough time remembering whether or not my wife likes guacamole this month, okay? My wife didn't like guacamole for the longest time. And then it's like one day I woke up and, no, baby, leave the guacamole on. Really? I didn't think you like, no, I kind of like it now. Okay, well, I don't know. So I just get what she wants, but that's just one woman. I only have to worry about one person liking guacamole or not. As far as I know, nobody in the house has an allergy, so I don't have to worry about it that much. But my wife, I try to be as accommodating as possible. She does the same for me. She knows what I like and what I don't like. But now multiply that by 4. One doesn't like guacamole. One doesn't like sour cream. Let's just say I'm going to stick with the Mexican theme. One doesn't like guacamole. One doesn't like sour cream. One doesn't like spicy, and the other one only eats soft shell tortillas. How is there a manual to this fucking machine? Seriously, I can barely go to the grocery store without forgetting at least two things. I mean, having multiple wives just sounds fucking horrible, man. You know. I don't want to get too icky. I don't want to talk about gross stuff, I'm just talking about the social economics of it all. You got 4 birthdays to remember. I feel like I don't spend enough time with my wife now. Now multiply that by 4. The amount of time that I spend, like right now, I'm on my weekend run. I'm on the second night of my 3-night weekend of work, and I've spent all of 3 hours since Friday with my wife, maybe 1 in the morning and 2 in the afternoon when I wake up before I go to the gym. Now multiply that by 4. If you're all living in the same house, then sure, but they have multiple houses. Whose house do you go to? Oh, I haven't spent as much time with Charlene this week, but Denise has been calling me, but I'm also supposed to take, Charlotte out for drinks. Like, this shit is fucking confusing, man. All you ladies think about is, oh, you get to have sex with all these different people. You can do that without marrying them. You shouldn't, but you can. My point is that having multiple wives, I don't know who the fuck would sign up for this. Well, you get them to sign up for it like you do anything. Throw some religion at them. And I'm not knocking anybody's religion. I don't give a shit what you believe in. This is America. You can believe whatever the fuck you want to believe. It doesn't bother me. But I don't understand how having multiple wives is going to send you to heaven, but I don't have to understand it. It's none of my fucking business. What I will say is this. George Carlin made this joke a long time ago that I cannot overlook in this situation with the Browns. He said, he said, I never fucked a 10, but one night I fucked 5 twos. And I kind of feel like that with this guy, Cody. Because, look, I'm not calling anybody ugly. I'm not calling anybody unfortunate looking, but damn, dude, it's like, the one wife, she looks like the Beast from Beauty and the Beast. Remember that? Are any guys old enough to remember the Linda Hamilton Beauty and the Beast show? She looks like the Beast from Beauty and the Beast. Oh my God. Wow. I don't know, man. I got lucky. I got really fucking lucky to get the woman I got the first time, okay? I was really lucky to marry a woman that is attractive, beautiful, wonderful, sweet, nice, everything, okay? I got lucky. Why the fuck am I going to roll the dice again? You won! Walk the fuck out of the casino. Take your fucking chips and walk the fuck out of the casino. Why are you going to try to be greedy and take the house again? Seriously, you need to get cut off, man. People need to know when to fucking quit. So that's just my 10-second take on the plural marriage side of TLC. And incidentally, I'm sorry, people. I know a lot of you guys enjoy those shows. They're fucking scripted, okay? They are scripted. Now, I'm not saying all the couples and all the marriages are fake, but a lot of them are, because now it's an entire franchise. There's some other show right now where there's like multiple plural marriages, and they're like looking for new people to marry and bring into their confine. When the black people showed up, I knew it was bullshit. And I'm sorry. I hate to be the guy. But there is just some shit that we don't do, okay? When I see these black women start coming up, and there's a couple of them now. There's a new show out. I don't know if it's on TLC or what it's on, but I assume it is on TLC because apparently they have a monopoly on the plural marriages. But when these black people start showing up, it's like, oh, I really like him, but I'm wondering what it would be like. And then there's one female that's like dating this plural white family, and then there's a black guy who's married to like two white chicks. That part I can kind of believe, but still, when the black people start showing up, we might do that. I'm not saying that it's not fathomable that we would do something like that, but we don't do it on fucking camera, okay? Black people will do a lot of stuff, but we don't need everybody in our business. How does it go? Stay the fuck out of black people's business, okay? Seriously, we don't like people all up in our shit like that. I know we live in this age where everybody wants to be on camera for all angles, but black people won't do certain stuff in public because we're waiting for that slap to come from our moms across the back of the head. So when the black people started showing up on the multiple wife thing, no, that just I could have believed you until then, but you fucked it up. You see, you went too far. See, just like I'm saying, you went for that other role and you crapped out. Nope. Not buying it. Not buying it anymore. So you people out there that think this shit is real, it's not real. It's scripted. If you can't believe all of it, you can't believe any of it. Trust me, not real. Anyway, that's my take on that. But let's circle back to the little people. What is it with the little people? You know, this is a whole thing with TLC. There's like, how many shows are there? Because the last time I looked, I don't watch it religiously. I used to, but I'll be honest, I used to, but I watch it because my wife watched it. So if it's on, yeah, I'm going to sit and watch it. All I really care about is being with, you know, sitting with my wife, spending an hour before we go to bed. So I'll watch whatever's on it. It doesn't matter. But anyway, we're watching these shows about little people basically just living their lives, and some of them are entrepreneurs and some of them are yoga instructors. I don't know. It's weird. You know, they all got some job that's like, oh my God, they're little people and they do. Well, yeah, they're people, you know, they can do whatever they want. So I don't see why that's such a big deal. But the thing is that I guess they were trying to make it into like a Real Housewife scenario. So I guess for a while it was like the little people of LA, the little people of Atlanta, the little people of Houston, you know. Okay, yeah, we get it. There's little people all over the world. So why is that? I mean, you know, and I hate, you know, the problem that I have with the little people shows, because Little People Big World, that show has been on, again, for like 20 years. It's been on forever, you know, and it's boring. Let me just say that out loud. That show is fucking boring, okay? I don't get that they're on a farm and they got kids and one of them is a little person and one of them is a regular sized person. Sorry, little people. I know I'm not supposed to say regular, but, you know, they're I don't know, the cis height. I don't know, dude. I don't know all the nomenclatures, okay? I'm old. I'm an old black man. You're lucky I'm not using all kinds of crazy words here. So, but that show is fucking boring, man. Have you ever watched Little People Big World? That show has been on for like 20 years and it is fucking boring. So I understand that they're trying to make these shows now, Little People LA, Atlanta, whatever. They're trying to make those fun, but the only way to make it fun is to make it sexy. So now, you know, it's, you know, oh, they're little people, but they're sexy. And I just feel like a fucking weirdo watching these shows, man. These little people, you know, and it's like, I mean, it's not that, you know, a lot of guys are interested in dating a little person, or at least, you know, with a little person. But anyway, you know, I just feel bad watching this because it's so over-sexualized. I mean, they get into their lives, you know, like, you know, some of them are struggling with fertility and some of them are struggling with relationships in general. So I get it. There's a human element to it, but a lot of it is over-sexualized. And it's just a little too creepy for me. And don't get me wrong, I'm down with any kind of sexuality that you want to go for, but it's just, I don't know, there's something about it that just feels a little exploitative. I don't know. I mean I know they all signed up to be on the show, and I don't know, but there's just something about it that seems a little off to me. But I mean, I'm there for it. I'm watching it. But again, it's almost like, you know, oh, watch us live our lives and we're little. I just don't know, why is this a thing? Why is TLC obsessed with little people and plural marriages? Do any of you guys have any insight on this? I'd really like to get your input on it. Go ahead and leave me a comment down below. If you guys had a show on TLC, what do you think? What do you think would be a good departure from the little people and the guys with too many gross wives? And I guess 90 Day Fiance would be the next one of that. But if I'm going to talk about 90 Day Fiance, I'm going to need I'm going to need to delete everything on my camera and start from scratch, because, man, I've got a lot to say on that fucking train wreck. In the meantime, like, share, and subscribe to BJBL Unleashed on YouTube. Follow me on Instagram while you're at it, and I will see you guys next time for more Unleashed.